Chapter 7. The days passed by, but Manuel didn't come. Luka was trotting around for hours alone in the park. He had given up waiting for Manuel or searching for him. He was only walking because he couldn't stand being in the same place for too long. His mother still didn't know what was going on with him. Although Luka would have gladly given everything to talk with her about Manuel and his grief, he didn't dare to. His fear of the telling off he had to expect from his mom was too strong. He simply couldn't imagine that she would comfort him and reassure him with all this. And to be bawled out for Manuel was more than he'd be able to cope with now. Luka had been disappointed, then sad, and at some time even angry, but now his heart was only filled with a dull, sinister, thumping pain that would not go away anymore. He had the feeling that, by losing his friend, he had lost the most important thing in his life. Something he never had known how much he needed it before he found it, and that Luka, now that obviously he had lost it, could not imagine how to hold up without. Luka arrived at the pond where they had played. He lay down in the sun as he was tired from the long time walking and began to dream with his eyes open. He saw himself frolicking around with Manuel. He remembered their talks, and he could almost feel his friend lying beside him, letting the rays of the sun shining on his naked belly. Luka's grief became overwhelming. And suddenly, he heard something. What was that? Luka's head came up drowsily, and his ears erected. This was a voice. The voice of a girl, and she sang some kind of a song that had reached Luka's ears. But where did this song come from? And who was singing it? Luka was sure that he had never heard anything as beautiful in his entire life. The song was only a melody without words, but it was so incredibly sad. It told a story from times long gone by, of a treasure that had been lost, and of a last remnant that was waiting somewhere for the one who would come and find it. And then, in a furrow next to a hillock, Luka saw a mighty old tree, and beneath it, a door. The door was almost completely overgrown with moss. You might have taken it for a piece of the tree's roots that had pressed up and out of the ground. But Luka immediately saw that this was a door, and it was standing slightly ajar. And from the gap in the door came that song that Luka was hearing. The melody had almost faded now, but then Luka realized that the singing returned. It became louder, more urgent. The song was calling for him. Luka hobbled cautiously over to the door beneath the tree, and then peered into the crevice between the door and the doorframe. No doubt, the voice came from the darkness beyond the crack of the door, and the voice was calling him. Without any further thought, Luka squeezed himself through the crack and disappeared in the night that lay beyond.